So I'm a huge fan of the after dinner coffee-based nightcap. There's something about it I just love. In the before times, I would go to a restaurant, they come out with a thing, would you like to look at the desserts? I would. Would you like some espresso or coffee with that? I would. So they offer, and then I kind of groan, and then I buy. That's generally how it used to go. And something about this time of year makes me think it's a really good time of year for nightcaps, seeing as, at least up here in the Northeast, it's just like nighttime all the time. The sun sets at 4 p.m. unreasonably early. So let's talk about some coffee nightcaps. That's what these are, a bunch of coffee nightcaps for you. So a little while back, me and Mr. Black, we got together. We did this episode on some coffee cocktails, and they liked it, and I liked it, and the numbers suggested, hey, you liked it too. So we all thought, hey, let's do that some more. And so Mr. Black is back in black, and sponsoring this swim through the decadent dessert cocktails that I crave after dinner. Thank you, Mr. Black, for helping me get more ice cream into my show. Mr. Black is my favorite coffee liqueur. You see it showing up on the show pretty frequently, but if you've missed it, Mr. Black is a cold brew coffee liqueur made from 100% ethically sourced Arabica coffee beans. It has very little sugar in it, especially compared to other coffee liqueurs that are on the market, which I think makes it super handy behind the bar. If you need that sweetness in a cocktail, you can always add it back in at your preference, but at least here you've got the option, right? It's yours. Mr. Black was founded in Australia in 2013, and they roast all the beans themselves in-house just before they get turned into Mr. Black coffee liqueur, which they also mix themselves in the same room where they do the roasting, so I'm told. So it's the real deal. Good stuff. You will love it, unless you hate coffee or something, in which case, I mean, I don't even know. All right, let's kick this thing off. We're going to talk about some affogato. Affogato literally translates from Italian to English as drowned. And that's what it is. It's ice cream that you drown in coffee or some kind of a liqueur or spirit. But when you've got Mr. Black, I mean, ¿por qué no la dos, right? This is very simple to create. It's just a nice scoop of ice cream, usually vanilla, and that's what I'm going to go with. I've also often seen this served in a large, like espresso demitasse, but I'm going to use a trifle glass, which is kind of made for desserts, actually, this thing right here. Even though it looks a bit like a coupe, it's technically a trifle. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trifle. I have a freezer over here, for those of you who don't know. I'm going to grab my ice cream. I'm not like a giant fan of Haagen-Dazs. I went to the store earlier with my mask on, as one must do, and I picked out the ice cream that had the least frost on it. This was my best option. And I'm just going to get myself a nice fat scoop here of ice cream. And I'm just going to put that right into the middle of my glass. And hopefully this scoop makes very photogenic scoops. And so far, it does. Money well spent here at the How to Drink bar, let me tell you. And then I'm simply going to pour, I don't know, an ounce or an ounce and a half of Mr. Black over the back. Should I measure it or not? I don't think so. There we go. And that, really, that is affogato. That's coffee. That's ice cream drowned in coffee. You can garnish this up with a tiny sprig of mint or an orange twist, or actually, hey, cherries here wouldn't be such a bad choice, though with the coffee, I'm not so sure on this one that it's the right way to go. It's fine to serve ungarnished, too. I think that I will actually throw a little orange twist on there, but let's do that. Let's take a little twist here, give it a little squeeze on the top there. Boom. And so that's affogato. Now, I made a mental note to bring a spoon to the bar today, which I did not do. I only have this, because you eat this with a spoon. So I'm going to use a bar spoon, apparently. And the idea is that you want to mix it up. You want to mingle the ice cream with the spirit, you know, as you go. And it's sort of a dealer's choice thing, right? That's really good. I like coffee ice cream, and I like coffee liqueur in my ice cream. You get this really fun, delicious interplay as the ice cream melts and mingles with the Mr. Black. It's very nice. And I don't want to finish this, but I want to finish this, so we might have to just linger here for a moment, my friends. Talk amongst yourselves. Hello, my friend. But you know, this got me thinking. What if I made an affogato cocktail? A cocktail that you drink without a spoon that's basically a plussed up affogato. So I worked on that a bit, and here it is. So you're gonna need your shaker. So I just keep going. So here's my shaker. And you're gonna get into that shaker a big scoop of ice cream. Whoop, one big old scoop of ice cream. Then I'm gonna need 1 ounce of my Mr. Black. And now I need an ounce of cognac. I like Pierre Ferrand 1840. We need a couple of dashes of chocolate or cocoa bitters. I'm going to use the Angostura cocoa bitters. 4 dashes, 2 dashes, whatever you like. I like a little bit more. That's like that dash dart really thins out the dash, so that's really 2 dashes when I do 4 there, I think. And that's it, So let's just shake that. No ice, actually, that's the thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shake this without ice, just ice cream, and we're going to shake it all the way to completion, which can be a little time consuming, so here we go. When I say completion, I mean until the ice cream is completely melted. I think I did it. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna use this little Nick and Nor glass. Use a coupe of your choice. And then I'm gonna garnish that with some grated chocolate. This is from Ghirardelli. This is like a baker's chocolate. It's like a very high level of cacao. It's I think 65 or 85%. You can get a little more artful with this, but I think that this is fine. And then also maybe, what the heck, we'll do both, right? Do an orange peel too. Orange and chocolate actually go together really well. Same kind of stand-up thing we did last time. All right, and there we have the affogato cocktail made with Mr. Black. Let's give it a taste. So chocolatey and just, You get a very smooth, ice creamy texture with this bitter chocolate coffee combo that is just, man, they go together good. And that is kind of supported all the way throughout by this cognac thing, you know? Cognac brings a kind of, grapey sweetness, very mildly. It just brings a little bit of lift to the whole thing, kind of helps tie it together, kind of a bottom note. You think of coffee as being kind of down here, but actually it's not. Coffee is kind of up here. Coffee is very bitter in a lot of cases, and also is chocolate. Even though they're very heavy flavors, they're still, in my brain, the way my weird brain works, they're very trebly, but not the cognac. The cognac is a low frequencies. Cognac is very mellow. And then put those together with that creamy vanilla ice cream backing, which also, of course, is bringing in sweetness. Whew, that is lovely. That is absolutely delicious. All right, let's move on just a bit from this kind of a purely dessert-oriented type drink to something that's still decidedly after dinner nightcap, but nonetheless a touch more reserved. This is a drink I actually made up kind of as a tribute to the Monster Gaming PC that Ironside hooked me up with. And thank you again there, guys. Seriously, I'm currently tearing it up in Cyberpunk 2077. And so I called this drink the Iron Nightcap, and I'm going to stick with that name. It's a stir drink, so you will need a mixing glass or something to stir in. And let's get that out. Let's get that mixing glass and get to work. We're going to start with a 1/4 ounce of chocolate liqueur. If you can get your hands on some Tempus Fugit spirits, I can't recommend them enough. 1/4 ounce of that. And now I need a 1/2 ounce of Demerara simple syrup. I know that's very sweet, but that's okay. Lovely sound. I need a 1/2 ounce of Antica Formula vermouth. And an ounce of rye. And make sure you get it into the cuts on your finger. That feels great. And now I need 1.5 ounces of our Mr. Black. Very coffee forward on this one. Crack some ice in there and stir that up. Now I need a coupe. Strain that right in there. This one, I think, actually does pair with some Luxardo Maraschino cherries very nicely. So garnish that way if you can. And there it is, the Iron Nightcap. Let's see how it is, if it holds up to my memory of it. So I haven't had it in a while. Oh my God, that's delicious. There are so many different little notes in there. And it's so round and evolved. Ooh, that is fun. Believe it or not, you get the vermouth up front. The Antica Formula, the vanilla, that vanilla and bitterness from the vermouth is what shows up first. And then that resolves into actually the sugar. The sweetness picks up from there. which gets backed up with the chocolate. So you get like that sweet, like sweetened dark chocolate taste. Oh, so good. We finally then get our Mr. Black to show up. Despite being, you know, a whole ounce and a half in here, it is the last note and it is just joy. The coffee comes in and just rides that sweetness out from that sugar and chocolate and really just like comes right up in there, and you get that nice coffee roasted bitterness, you know, the taste of coffee. It's wonderful. Does the rye really come through? Not really. The rye is just an appropriate way to back this thing up with a little bit of proof. Oh, that is just delicious. The Iron Nightcap. All right, I've got one more entry here, and it's a bit out there. I figured that was a good move on this one because one we did decidedly desserty, and one was a stirred kind of classic style after dinner drink. And so let's do one more, make it a gastro thing. I'm still pretty intrigued by this whole Dalgona coffee thing. I know, old memes never die, it seems. So what I'm gonna do is create a stable foam from the Mr. Black. There's not really any way to shortcut this. The only way I know how to do this very reliably is with an icy foam whipper and a foam agent like this Foam Magic from Modernist Pantry. This stuff will foam up most things. It's very, very easy. Little pouch says to use a ratio of 1 or 2% by weight. So I've got my icy foam whipper and I have a scale. This is actually my coffee scale. It's very accurate down to 1/10 of a gram. I will put a link to this guy in the comments below. I want to add to this about 100 grams of Mr. Black. Okay, 102. And now I want to add my Foam Magic. By the way, the Foam Magic, just so that you know, it is maltodextrin, methicellulose, and xanthan gum. So I want to add a little over a gram. And I like to give that a little stir. I like to just kind of slish that around in there. Try to help it mix up before I start adding chargers to it. And now I'm going to charge this sucker up. Give that a good shake. Now, that's my glass. This is my shaker. Why am I using a cobbler shaker today, guys? Well, I couldn't find another Boston that I really, really loved. And actually for this drink, this will be fine because of what we're doing. So, and I never use a cobbler on the show. I figured, what the heck, I should do it with a cobbler. So what I want to put in here, I want to add 1.5 ounces of Bailey's Irish cream here. Or your preferred, you know, cream liqueur. But I actually compared a few, and I thought this one was the best. And an equal measure of Amaro d'Angostura. And I gotta say, if you can't get this, I don't know, because it's pretty unique. It has a very Angostura taste. In fact, I think that if you can't get this, your best bet might be like half as much Angostura bitters or 1/4 as much Angostura bitters. I'm gonna add some ice to that. And pour that straight into your glass. Whoa! Usually the problem with these things is they won't release. That was different. And now, gently, we're going to top this up with our foam. Hopefully. Yes, we are. And there we have our Mr. Black Dalgona. And what a wild looking thing that is. Let's give this a try. Oh, that is a delight. It is so good. Woo, that's good. Oh my God, that's so good. You definitely get a slight pinkish color at the bottom. That's the Angostura with the Baileys. And then you have this Dalgona on top. That is so good. The coffee and the Bailey's Irish cream go so well together. And I'm going to tell you that the Angostura is an unexpected turn, but oh, is it welcome. It is so good in this. It is a joy. It's a real treat of a drink. I mean, this is not, it's a cream-based drink. You're not going to drink a ton of these, right? That's delicious. It's just sweet and creamy. I don't know, is that Bailey's? Does it taste like strawberries a little bit? It's like a sweet and creamy coffee thing with these allspice and cinnamon and maybe a little bit of gentian bitterness notes from the Angostura Amaro. And there's a wonderful textural thing happening here between the foam and the Bailey's Irish Cream. I mean, it just like, you just want to like chew on it, but in a really pleasant way. And the whole thing is just so much fun to drink. It's so good. Oh God, that is stupid delicious. So you've got your affogato dessert cocktail. We've got our stirred, sophisticated after-dinner digestif, and sort of a molecular gastronomy kind of thing going on here with the foamy coffee thing. All were a lot of fun, all very coffee forward, all very delicious, decidedly after dinner drinks. None of these are going to be, these are not day drinks, okay? And it just seemed appropriate for the season. And I want to thank Mr. Black one more time for helping me out here and sponsoring this episode. So why don't you head to their website using the link below and use discount code GREG for 10% off in the USA, Australia, or UK. Now, Mr. Black is available in 15 countries. There's another link down there if you want to know if you happen to be in one of those 15 countries. But also, hey, they've got a great channel on the YouTubes. You should check that out at youtube.com/MrBlackSpirits. I'm Greg, your intrepid host. You will find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/GregFromHTD, where I am currently, or at some point, going to be using the beautiful computer from Ironside Computers. Thank you guys again for that one. You will find me on Twitter at HowToDrink. You will find me on Instagram at HowToDrink. You will find me on Patreon at patreon.com/HowToDrink. If you want to support the show, find the parts of this episode that were a little too raw for YouTube. They're going to be over there. They always get like a behind the scenes or a special features edit with all the stuff that I couldn't use on the YouTube. That's over there on the Patreon. And so thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the show, I am obligated to do that thing and ask you to smash the like button and ring the subscribe bell and comment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. What would matter is if you watched a whole lot more of How to Drink. Only watch time matters. YouTube only cares about watch time. So if you could increase the watch time of this channel by watch timing it all the time, that would be great. So hey, in support of that, look at these other episodes of How to Drink that you may have missed because I've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years of my life I've been doing this. Oh my God, I've been doing this show for 5 years. There are other episodes of How to Drink that you will enjoy because you liked this one, and they're just like it, except also good. Thank you. See you soon. Goodbye.